Maybe I have questioned what is in front of my eyes my whole life. Not so ideal for my parents and those attempting to direct me into a reasonable, content existence, but what can I say? I have just the right amount of strengths and self-management skills to sneak under the radar, and just enough campaigner and rebel to cause a ruckus. What I have never questioned is what I see without my eyes, a deeper understanding of the wisdom and flow of life that is happening beyond the rat race, a depth without borders, a depth outside of the box. I am here in these words projecting out of your speakers to shine a light on a different idea, to spread seeds of possibility, to offer balance and disruption, to adjust the camera towards the kinks and shadows of ourselves, and to appreciate every nook and crevice of our existence. I am offering this podcast as a collaborative experiment with life, a journey of freedom-making and change-shaking. A new way starts within you. Deep down in you somewhere, there is a non-conformist. Sifting through the things that you have learned and what you've been told your whole life. Move past what your mind might be saying about rules and boxes and getting along. Can you find that you? The part of you that has a yearning for something more. The part of you that has wanted to break free from the tyranny, scale the rooftops, and yell out to the wind, "Get me out of here!" The part of you who abides by the status quo to the best of your ability and yet can feel the restless revolution within. I continue to embrace my inner rebel. The other day I was connected with a spiritual teacher from down south, way down south. She has done her work in places like Virginia and Alabama and Mississippi and Florida and so on. A beautiful black woman, if I had to guess, in her 60s, with a knack for filling the room up, in this case our Zoom room, with her own unique self-expression. We were connected to talk about spirituality in the modern world and what space the center in Campbell River desires to hold. She said we are in the business of personal power, and from there she invoked her own personal power, inciting the most uplifting rant of my week. I didn't even need to ask barely any questions, as she did such a fine job answering them all without prompt. I told her she was really good at this kind of inquiring conversation. Man, I wish I could have recorded it for you all. Perhaps I will be able to wrangle her into the podcast someday soon. When I acknowledged her skill, she laughed and said it was the very thing that she had gotten into trouble for as a child. In fact, she hollered, "I bet if you look at what you got in trouble around as a child, that it's the very thing life wants you to be doing." Oh man, I didn't get in trouble very often. But when I did, it was usually because I was pushing against the life rules of my small world. Flash forward to today, and I do not desire to push against what is right for those around me just because, but I continue to question the status quo and live my life climbing daily out of any box I find myself in. I may be the first to see a red flag in someone around me suddenly speaking matter-of-factly about something they read on social media. Maybe I was taught to be suspicious of the general what just is that people seem to so readily accept, but I more so appreciate the thought, effort, open-mindedness, and curiosity it takes to dig a little deeper and sift through the norms that just don't sit quite right. What if you gave yourself space every day to ask, how come, and can if? What would it feel like to break out of the imposed chains? Life in the larger energetic sense doesn't seem to impose limitations on us, but we, ourselves, are certainly good at it. Think about it. When did you learn that you have to worry about what other people think of you? Or that you're just one person, so you can't possibly make a difference? Or that some things are just not possible for you? I was having one of these great brainstorming debacles with my spiritual director recently. I so appreciate how she embraces my constant rebellion in such a way that she encourages it even while being on the other end of it. Because of this embrace, we can have the most wild of conversations. And on this particular day, we were talking about why the Center for Spiritual Living ever ended up lumped into the faith community category, because it completely does not belong there. As the founder wanted a teaching and education direction so that people could empower their own lives based on practices to put to work in the day-to-day. But there we were, once upon a time ago, placing the work into a box. Go figure. As this passionate conversation was underway, she said, "You're reminding me of a book I read years ago in my studies, part of the curriculum to be where she's at today." She pulled it out of our kick butt library, and guess what it was called? Spirits in Rebellion. Oh yes, this is speaking my language. I am currently reading this 10-pound book, and one of the very first things it explains is that the universe continues to expand in every day, in every moment, and in every way. And for us to be in the flow of life and in alignment with it each and every day, we will get a new thought, a new idea about life. Just saying this out loud to you right now has my heart flutter. I refuse to stand still. I will expand until the moment this life is over for me. Will you stand still or forever expand? Maybe the very fact that we are a living part of this whole reality that's underway means that life won't even allow us to be still. When you think about it, we are physically growing and changing every day. Every day, more than 300 trillion cells are created new in your body. Every day until the day you die. Your brain can create chemicals so that new things can be learned at every age. Even your fingernails continue to grow. Maybe this very fact that we try and stay still and fit in and build up walls and ruts of comfort is why we experience disharmony. Because we are trying to stay still in this forever expanding and changing life. This week, I also joined in on a book study on thriving through uncertainty, and we did some great, very detailed exercises, one of which was making a huge list of all the fears and concerns we hold right now. For those of you that have never done this, there is an amazing number of concerns on any one person's mind at all times. It's flooring almost as you actually take a written inventory of them. Again, super grateful for my nervous system and biology for being able to deal with so many moving parts and falling skies all at one time. I don't even tend to err on the side of fearful either. In any case, we were to pick one of those fears and really work it out in conversation. Again, what was revealed to me over the course of the different exercises was that somewhere in all that scares me and all that I work very diligently to save myself from is where my freedom is. The unknown is where our freedom is. Maybe this inner rebellion on the path to freedom is about discovery. What else is there to discover about yourself beyond what you have been told? This might be the perfect time to learn how to create something new. Our previous existing life is upside down at the moment in so many elemental ways. Why cling to the old? In the past, I have worked on changing my external life. I have found causes near and dear to my heart and taken to the streets to stand up for what I believe in. I have taken to the forest to make change. Many right now are taking to the streets with all of their momentum and strength to make change. Brave and valuable for certain. And I think there is also value and courage to be had in taking to the internal streets, recognizing that what we see on the outside exists within us in some way. And so by creating change inward in our own lives and consciousness, we change the space within and therefore around us. Someone like myself might see the imbalances of inequality in the world and speak up and rally to do what they can to make a difference in their communities. And they might also choose to look inside and see how they pass judgments or a crush or be crushed mentality, and therefore rally to do the work needed to make inner change. In any case, there is work to be done. And we are in this together. I will probably never say this enough. We are all one in the largest sense, and even on our small day-to-day, I have a neighbor on either side of me, and my neighbors have neighbors on either side of them, and they have neighbors. Together, we make a community, a town, a village, and our towns make a region and a country and a continent and a globe. We are all one. Our changes may start inside of our own homes, and then our neighborhoods, and then our countries, and then the world. Our changes might be prompted by our neighbors or by things that are just not okay. Our changes might slowly accumulate over time with ease. Our changes might be our only rock bottom option. Either way, change is inevitable. It is in our nature. It is supported by the rebel within and nurtured by our gratitude for all of it. I want to share my gratitude with all of you for listening with me, but more so for doing the work with me, for being a part of my larger neighborhood, and for being the very humanity that keeps me growing and learning. I may struggle with this idea that we are all in this together, and yet I know it to be true. So thank you for being in this all with me. Until next time, find your freedom and be well.